We are back here on Unfiltered with your boy Jay, Skyline and James on GM Worldwide Radio. Follow us on IG and Twitter on GMWW Radio and at the Android app at Google Play. We back for a split second. I'm gonna rap about my weekend, which was fun. I had my first hangover in a while. That was fun, and I went to the Florida Georgia Nelly concert. It was like the country rap concert. Funny part is the hangover happened before the concert. Didn't even plan on that. 1-4 Loco will do it. Like I was feeling groovy too. Like I got on work that Friday, the day before the concert. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm drinking this 4 Loco. I had some beers for the concert. I knew I wasn't drinking the 4 Loco at the concert. That's suicide. So I just sip on it all night. Like I'm feeling groovy, playing Madden. Time to go to bed. Man, I wake up the next morning. I feel dizzy as shit. My head hurts, and I don't even get hangovers, bro. Not from regular alcohol. I could drink like regular alcohol and beer and not do that. Oh, like if they wanted to go tailgating like I thought they did, I don't know if I was going. So after that, we head out there. I'm groovy because I got my pin, and I'm cool. We get out to the venue. We missed the first dude. Didn't care because I didn't know who the first dude was. And then Nelly's out here doing all the hits. He's actually covering country songs too, which makes you kind of reminds me that like Nelly was one of the first dudes that could kind of not sing but make it work. Hey man, I'm still happy.
Yeah.
The Air Force Ones. He had Ali out there. If y'all don't know Ali, then y'all really wasn't out there with the St. Lunatics. So Ali was out there. I kind of swole at the dude. What was his name? Elephant Man. I wish he was out there. Dude with the paint. Yeah. What was his name? That dude was funny though. But I knew Murphy wasn't gonna be out there. Nobody know Murphy Lee out now. But they was out there killing it, getting all the jams up there. But it was funny because how they ended the set. Nelly didn't do a couple key songs. I would say the biggest song after his set was probably like Just a Dream. Oh, Dilemma. He went out there and did Dilemma. I don't give a damn like who you are, man. Like if you didn't, I rock with Dilemma. I ain't gonna act like I ain't rock with Dilemma. Kelly Rowland was fine. She wasn't there, but she was fine. The Florida Georgia line comes on after Nelly because they're technically the headliner. I enjoyed it. Not a country fan. Like this isn't a country show. I'm not gonna get out here and like get all country on you.
Was that really country? Would you say like a house?
No. Because there was a point they had a smoke track. I didn't know that Florida Georgia line smoked tree. They had a smoke track that was kind of mellow, and then they had like 2 country EDM type songs.
Okay.
Like one of the songs they did was called Swerve.
Okay.
So and the other one was called Turn.
Okay.
Yeah, the other song was called Turn. It was 2. There was like this little, and even the people in the crowd that I knew was with them seemed confused, and the dude there seemed like, oh yeah, y'all look confused. Like yeah, we look confused, man. We kind of actually got a little different. Like we got kind of turned a little bit. Like we was the crowd was changing from country to something completely different for a little bit. Then you went back to what y'all came here to do, which again was cool because they're like a pop country, and I might not like my hip hop pop, but almost any other genre I need to have a little bit of pop in it. Like rock, country, everything else, you got to have something to catch me with the catchiness of it. You don't got to go like full Taylor Swift on me, but like I need a little bit of catchiness because like straight country it's depressing to me. So and that wasn't depressing. It was a great live show. Then they do that fake. All right, we're out of here. Best fake. All right, we out of here all time. Because you know what happens next? We hot in. Yes, Hot in Here comes on, bro. Nelly comes back out. That never happens. He was the opener. He comes back out after the fucking encore. Does Hot in Here with the group. Then they go into that last track that they did together a couple years ago, Crew, where Nelly's on the last verse.
Yeah.
That was cool too, because I've never seen anything like that before. That's like music festival type of shit. Like usually when you go on tour, niggas, you just do your set and you sit in the back. You might come out and wave at the fans at the end when it's like, yo, say what's up to this dude. They don't like, that was their encore. Nigga came out with his hottest song. And Nelly blew the roof off of Hot in Here. Like, no matter what, I remember one time me and my mom looked up the lyrics of Hot in Here. It's like the most hard thing to read, just to read ever. Like, I read rap lyrics. A lot of rap lyrics make sense if you just read it in sentence form. Hot in Here does not make any sense if you read it in sentence form. But he killed it. Like, that song isn't like, it's just that song. Like, if you out here getting turned to All My Friends Is Dead and all this shit now, like, then I don't know. Like, I'd rather get turned to the Hot in Here and Back That Ass Up, Future Story about to come to y'all soon. any other day. So, but yeah, like I said, that was a great concert. And Florida Georgia Line and Nelly have chemistry. That's the thing about people that don't understand about rap music, is people think rap music is just a urban thing. There are rap is country. The thing about rap is, yes, we are a genre of all genres. Not like, I'm not saying we're better than all genres. That came out a little wrong. But it's a genre that we're cool with the sound of all genres. It's not, we're not appropriating or anything. Like we will rock with your crowds. Nelly is out here rocking with y'all. He was loving with y'all. Y'all broke bread with him. Honestly, that's the other thing. Back to the, not going back to the previous subject, but going to that concert and seeing the love between, because it was still Florida Georgia Line's concert, but there was still that black syndicate because Nelly was there. Like there was like you could see that black people came for Nelly, like a certain amount. Like it wasn't, let's say 70-25, like 75-25, like 75%. Like it was like that. Okay. But there was no problems. There was not any problems. It seemed like it was all love. And that's what we need. Actually, I would look forward to more stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that every rapper and country star needs to do a complete song, but like just doing shows or tours together. Like again, you don't have to have music together to do that type of stuff. Like I went to a Tech Nine concert like 2 years ago. He had a metal group with him. The group was terrible, but he had a metal group with him. It's different. It brings crowds together. So, like I said, that's how I felt about Nelly and Florida Georgia Line and the guy I miss. Well, I'm not sad about missing. Gonna keep it real with y'all. I didn't hear the first dude. He might have been cool. I might have missed something really good. I'm not mad. They need to fix something out there at that fucking pavilion too. Cause I don't understand how people are supposed to get in and out of that bitch. It's like you drive straight onto a major fucking highway. There's like, I don't even, like, it's barely even a light. Like it's like, oh, you're coming out of the pavilion. Let's go onto a 5 or 6 lane highway. And if you want to go to Pittsburgh, you got to turn left. I mean, you got to cross the 3 lanes of fucking traffic trying to go towards you. Yeah, that's some bullshit. Y'all know how I feel about traffic and fucking city planning. And it's not even a city. That's how the fucking sticks and they fucked that up. All you needed was some ramps. Ramps. That's it. Back over to the music side. I rock with him. He used to be one of my favorite artists. I'm saying used to be because if this shit's true, I was saying some stuff about R. Kelly and Usher a couple days ago about how they can never fuck up. Mystikal, it was not that rapper. It was not that artist. Mystikal, today, police have filed a warrant out for his arrest for a rape, allegedly. Again, this will be the second time this happened. The first time Mystikal went to jail for rape, he was gone for 6 years. Again, this is nothing like. There's no spin on this. I can't make a joke about this. If this is true, this is wrong. This isn't rap. This isn't hip hop. This isn't black. This isn't culture. This is just somebody who needs help. And I'm not like, no. First and foremost, he needs to go to fucking jail if he did this, and then he needs to get help in jail. I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, we're gonna get him help outside of jail. No, this is the second time you've done this. You obviously got a problem. If this is true, if this is not true, I apologize, and you need to fight for your freedom. Like this is America. You're guilty. I mean, you're innocent. All right. In some people's minds, you're guilty until proven innocent. In America, they tell you you're innocent until proven guilty. We can argue that in a separate day. But legally, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, and I'll give you that. But you got a history, and you better figure out a way to make sure you are innocent nigga on this. How do you feel about this subject?
I don't know. Yeah, I would say Mystikal. I'm not too sure if he did or not. I mean, like that's what I like to be like. You know, I try to be neutral. You know, like until there's like factual evidence. I mean, like lately there's been some things. A lot of stars are being like targeted. Some of it's true, some of it's not. I mean, so I want to see more information. If it is true, I mean, definitely. I feel you. He definitely needs to be rehabilitated. Definitely needs to talk out whatever issues or something.
In Louisiana, knowing how states down south roll, you got 6 the first time. If you did this in Louisiana the second time, them judges are not going to be. It's pretty about let's just say letting that slide. Like this ain't gonna be no OJ thing, bro. If you go down, you're getting tied. And again, if you did it, you deserve it. I'm sorry. Like I'm not. I was raised by a single mom, bro. I'm not about that life. Like it's nothing that's weird. It's nasty. You're famous. Like I'm not saying because you're famous, you should be able to get it easier. But I feel like if that chick says no, the next chick will probably say yes. I'm not saying that's right, but I feel like it's just what it is. So like I know like that's like my biggest issue whenever I hear stuff about this about famous people. Like it's sick. No, anybody's does it. But like, and I might just be naive to think like this, but I feel like the next woman will probably say yes, or the next two. Like, so when you're famous and you do some grimy shit like this, it makes me feel even more egregious because I'm like, I'm not saying you have more choices, but it feels like you had more choices. If she said no, like that's just what I say. Like if she says no, that's what it is. Over to some lighter notes. We have Big Boy coming in the city soon. He just dropped his album. That's going to be reviewed in a couple weeks. But I guess we just talking about reviews. Y'all thought we was doing rap jury today. I'm sorry. We missed a lot of time last week. I wanted to give y'all a synopsis of our opinions on everything we missed. Rap jury is coming Wednesday. Doing 21 Savage is I think that's what it's how it's pronounced. And we are also doing Dizzy Wright, The Golden Age 2. Those are if you don't know,
this is an LP, right? This isn't a mixtape, right?
This is an LP. Yeah. It's a large LP.
But the first one was a mixtape, right?
The first one was no, he drops a large LP.
No. The first Golden Age was a mixtape, or was that an LP?
I thought it was an LP. I almost had to pay for that shit.
Oh.
But again, they're like I feel like after I show Malik how to track list, he gonna be like, "What type of LP is this?"
Now, this is the first one off, not on Funk Volume, right?
I think this is the second.
This is the second. Okay.
But I don't know what the label is, or if he's just running around just dropping stuff loosely. Like I haven't since Funk Volume's broken up. I've basically fallen off on all of them. I respect Dizzy enough, and the first Golden Age was such a good album to me. I want to listen to it. I don't care what label he's on now. The rest of them don't have that much prowess to me because even Hobson, even though I liked Hobson, he never dropped an album that was so amazing that it was like, oh, I need a second. He just had a lot of good loose songs. Yeah. And Jaron wasn't around. Like I like Jaron Benton. Like I will listen to Jaron Benton because he's crazy as fuck. But Dizzy was the one that caught my eye.
Swizz?
He never dropped anything. Like I'm sorry. Like you know what's funny is I hated Swizz's voice at first, and then it came around. Like it actually had to like his voice grew on me. But he still never dropped anything. He never dropped a mixtape. He never dropped the album. He's the fucking what's the dude? Oh, he was the J Electronica fucking Funk Volume. Just dropping random verses every once in a while. But yeah, Dizzy Wright will be on there. And again, we're gonna work on we might do a local. If we do, I will get as much social media attention on it as possible because I don't feel like I did as much as I should have with Guala. But hey, I was bumping that up going in today, so it's still like I said, that shit was hot. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna try to get this locals up pretty soon. Like I said, if I can't get locals quick enough, we're gonna be doing only locals because I need enough locals to do a top 10 before the end of the year. Like I can do a top 10 of all the regular albums no matter what. Like I can do that. I listen to enough music generally to do that. I would like to have at least because last time I only had like 12 and I did a top 10 and it felt weird only having 12 albums. I would like to have at least 20. I would like to have the chance at least 10 people feel at least want to be hungry enough to get up into the top 10 next year. And plus people that weren't even reviewed. Like I want this to be a competition. Well, a friendly competition. This don't need to be weird. Like, let's keep that straight. This don't need to be weird. I ain't no hood nigga. We don't have to be shooting for this. I'm just saying I would like to see the city get anteed up about reviews again. Like I said, get anteed up about people's opinion and seeing like, oh, my album was number 2. Oh, my album was number 9. Shit, my shit didn't even make the top 10. I want it to be like that. Like, figure that out. Or you want to be that next dude that comes out of nowhere and gets the top 10 next year. Like you dropped your first album and made the top 10. Some of these niggas been in the city for 20 years. I want shit like that. Again, I don't want y'all to be offended, but again, some people gonna make it, some people ain't. It don't matter if I post top 10s of the people that are already famous. They might see what I post on Twitter and Facebook, and they might do a shout out. It's going to be in y'all faces, and I want to find a way to make it in y'all faces. Like, let's remember that. Like I said, I need this music, and if I ever meet you and you say you heard me say this today, and I didn't get the music, and you had music, I'm gonna look at you like, well, you weren't man enough to want to be recognized against your peers. Not me. Against your peers, because James will be doing these reviews. I'll have other people guest host some reviews. I'm not going to be the end all in what your music sounds like on this station or what the opinion of your album is on this station. So like I said, I really need to get that out there because I need more music. I'll be heading down to East Liberty in a few days to cop some hard copies hit this old school for a little bit, but I need y'all niggas to start hitting me up if y'all really want, like I said, a friendly competition. This ain't no money or nothing. This is about the city. Who is the best in and out of the city every year? Basically, I don't want to see it. Back over to some other music. When I think about the best in the game right now, R&B wise, I think The Weeknd. I don't think there's even an argument about The Weeknd right now. Like, he's been killing the game, but he just released a song called the Reminder Remix featuring Young Thug and A$AP Rocky. And I've said this in the past, but this song kind of influenced it a little more than usual because it gives you Young Thug, who's probably, I would say, the pinnacle of the weird crowd or the what you would call mumble rap or whatever you want to call it, but he's probably at the top of it with like Future and some of the other artists like that. And then there's A$AP Rocky, who's basically, he was looked at one point as a J. Cole, Kendrick rapper or Drake rapper, and I feel like he's just underneath their roof. Like, they're on the roof, he's in the attic. That's where A$AP Rocky is. He's just in the attic. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because of how his albums place out or because he's out here, like, he's from New York, but he's out here doing Houston. I don't know what it is, but A$AP was there with them. And it's just like, I would even say he's probably below Big Sean. Like, I feel like Big Sean, because of what he's doing right now, puts himself in the J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick category. But A$AP is just under it. But saying that, I feel like Weeknd in that remix, I know it's his song, but even when I hear Weeknd on other songs, I notice this. The Weeknd is out here out rapping, or at least out lyricism these guys. I know that's just made some whole shit up. But like, the Weeknd's singing, but the lyrics that Weeknd is using seem more in depth and more, it just has more like a more power. There's more emotion to what he's saying and lyrical power, saying what he says over what I hear Young Thug say, which he can get his vocals to a point where you get emotion out of his vocals that are weird. And then A$AP Rocky, who's usually supposed to say some intellectual shit. And the best thing I got out of his verse, which I still think was cool, was he flipped some shit about how if he cut his dreads off, he would walk around with his dreads in his hand like Jaden Smith, because Jaden Smith was walking around with his dreads because he cut his dreads off, but he like walks around with them in his hand. The line was cool. I'm still confused about the Jaden Smith. See, like, every time I even talk about that line, it's just more or less that Jaden Smith is walking around with his hair in his hand. That's more or less where I'm like, oh. But yeah, like I said, for the while now, like I said, I would like to hear other people's opinion on this. Like, I've heard songs like French Montana featuring Weeknd with Gifted, the Juicy J's track with The Weeknd, Ty Dolla $ign's remix with The Weeknd, Wiz. Like, anybody who does songs with The Weeknd gets murdered. Even I think Ed Sheeran got murdered by The Weeknd on a track, and them two were singing. Shit. Yeah, that happened. So like, anytime I'm like, Ed Sheeran's The Weeknd's turning into the Eminem of R&B to me.
Okay. Where
it's just like, you go ahead and do a song with The Weeknd, and he's gonna take the emotion and the passion that you thought you had on your own song, and he's gonna make it his. Like, The Weeknd makes your song his. Just like Eminem goes, if you get Eminem for a feature, hey, anybody remember Airplanes 2? Smack that. Like, Eminem is a feature on your song. Your song is now Eminem's song. So, and The Weeknd's doing that now. Anytime I hear The Weeknd on a track, it's like, or hear like somebody has this track and it's The Weeknd on, I'm like, oh, The Weeknd is out here getting it. There's very few exceptions. You got to be like a really high power artist not to get completely overwhelmed by The Weeknd singing. Kanye did it, didn't get completely overwhelmed. There was another artist. Lana Del Rey doesn't usually get completely overwhelmed. She's a singer. Shockingly, I think it's because of the drugged out persona of them, because they've had about 3 songs together now. And I think because I basically subjected Malachi to it a couple days ago, watching a straight video of it. And I feel like he's had some decent background with The Weeknd before he got like super famous. They both have that druggy vibe, Travis and Weeknd. And the songs they have together, it's not like either of them are overpowering each other. It's more like they're both in this trip together. It's kind of how I feel about when I listen to Eminem and Kendrick together, honestly. It's just like on a lower tier because it's all about drug abuse. That's something else. We're going to be talking about the idea that even though I do like listening to music about a lot of drug abuse, it is drug abuse. Like, I ain't going to sugarcoat that. But like I said, The Weeknd is out here lyrically. I think it's the reason why he gets all these awards. He's lyrically murdering people that don't understand what he's saying or doing. Like, everybody else is out here singing their ballads, and The Weeknd's out here singing his future death, basically. listen to some of these songs about the cocaine and the abuse and like all the shit he does.
How many albums does he have out currently?
If you count the trilogy, like 5. But whenever they re-release a trilogy, they put the trilogy out as one album. Because originally it was 3 mixtapes, but it's like 12. So they put the trilogy together. It's like 30-something songs. And then he dropped the House of Balloons and there's something else after that. Like I said, The Weeknd is I like him because it's raw. It's raw. He's swearing. It's not just like I love you R&B music. I hate I love you R&B music at this point. I grew up listening to the Temptations and Jackson 5 and whatever those songs that were fake on the 5 Heartbeats movie. Like it's just, and I mean, it's cool. It's memorable music, but I can't do it. So when I listen to R&B, I can't, like, I need grittiness. Like, I don't actually get the popness that everybody gets out The Weeknd. I get that of like listening to Chris Brown. I can't listen to Chris Brown no more. I can't listen to Trey songs. You know how I feel about Jeremiah. So yeah, this is how that is with that. Like I said, you don't listen to The Weeknd at all, do you? No. Yeah, so that was, like I said, I just wanted to get people's opinion on The Weeknd's, like I said, taking over of R&B and rap. Like I said, if we had to go lyricist right now, The Weeknd would top a lot of rappers in my eyes.
Well, you mentioned he murdering people on his track. So like French Montana, I feel like anybody could murder.
He murdered Meek.
Meek, no.
Yeah. Oh. I think he murders Drake every time they get on the track together.
Oh shit.
That's something I would attest to. He murdered 2 Chainz. And actually, you know what the sad part about him murdering 2 Chainz was? It was a sample. They sampled a Weeknd song and made them sample the hook. And he still got murdered. It wasn't even like Weeknd really did that. So that proves my point. And that proves a lot of points, though. Because the best feature I heard was that Vince Staples sent Rita, and that was just a sample, too. So that might prove some shit. But yeah, no, like this is The Weeknd's definitely been proving a lot recently with his lyrics. And like I said, top 10. Like I said, I'm trying to think. Like I said, Kendrick, Kanye, Travis, Lana Del Rey, Ed Sheeran. Like I said, he has a star-studded list. Juicy J, the new Juicy J, not the old Juicy J. So I mean, it matters about how you feel about which is better. I think he's had tracks with Nicki. Would you? I mean, you looked up. Would you argue that there's like different phases of Juicy J now since he's in this new part of his career, or has this been the same Juicy J the whole way through?
They've always adapted. Triple Six is always each year. They go straight to far from there.
I mean, like, you know what gets me about them though is I still listen to like Late Night Creep. Like that's like 96, and that shit sounds like it could have been made today. But that was off subject. But yeah, like I said, The Weeknd's out here changing the game, and I think it's going to be something like I said, I always worry about artists that base their career off of drug use. So it's going to be interesting to see how far that goes. But when it comes to like, if you want to get a track with The Weeknd and you're a rapper, get your lyrics up. I actually be really interested to hear Eminem and The Weeknd do a track together. It might just break the fucking world.
I think Eminem would hold himself.
He has to though.
He always does.
Yeah, I think he copped out on the Kendrick track when they made that track about a love song.
Love song that was on like his Marshall Mathers.
2? Yeah, that song was a cop out. They both had good verses, but he made a song that didn't have to make them use their abilities to like they should have.
I mean, yeah, they could have. I feel like they knew what they have like the ability to do it. I think like one of them would just try to do it over the other person too much, and I don't think that's what not the need.
Right. Well, before we wrap this up, 2 more things because these are one's a rumor, one's a guarantee. The guarantee is DJ Quick and Scarface are dropping an album. This will be Scarface's second to last album ever, which is kind of unique to me because he said after this next year he's dropping his last solo album.
Really?
Yes, Scarface is.
And then he's back to Outkast. No.
Scarface.
Oh no. Oh, Scarface. Oh, I'm sorry. No. Oh, I'm thinking.
Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself.
I'm thinking Big Boy.
Yeah.
For some reason, I'm thinking Big Boy because we were talking about the concert earlier. No.
Scarface. Ghetto Boys. Which I don't think we're getting another Ghetto Boys CD.
No, we're not. No. That's not happening. Scarface.
Yeah, Scarface is going to have one more solo. Hey, underknown best albums of 2 years ago was Scarface's album. I think he almost won a couple BET Awards before he got arrested in Houston that year. But yeah, like I said.
Did he feature anybody on there?
On his album? There was a decent amount of features on his album. I forget what it was.
I think it was a big one.
It might have been.
I don't know.
And then on the rumor, but these niggas have been chilling together and there's a ton of pictures and they in Japan together. Kid Cudi, Kanye surprise album. That might not be big for people now because, you know, Kid Cudi and Kanye kind of ruled 2008. Like, it's been almost 10 years since they were on the peak of their careers. But I'm excited. Hey, to me, I'm excited. Like, I was excited to finally get T-Wayne a couple months ago, which is still a top 10 right now in my eyes. T-Wayne, because it was dropped now. I know every single song was made in 2010. But yeah, like I said, between that and the Quavo Travis Scott album that's supposed to be coming out, this is going to be a year of collaborations. We just got the ASAP Mob back. I'm not going to lie. I can't stand Meek Mill's the solo artist, but if we could get this MMG project going, I'd kind of be okay. Meek Mill in one verse with everybody around him calming his loudness down within a song, I could deal with that. So I want that MMG project. I'm actually looking forward to that. Oh, and Hustle Gang. T.I. needs to figure out who's on his label still, but he needs to get the Hustle Gang project off the ground too. So, like I said, I'm definitely down for all of that. Like I said, I'm a big collaboration guy. I like remixes because DJ Khaled ain't dropping remixes no more. So, like I said, we are definitely about what's going to happen soon.
All of the remixes.
Yeah. And like I said, he's excited about Dave East coming up soon. That will be a review soon. Ace Hood just dropped a new mixtape. It's going to be probably my last Ace Hood review.
Ace Hood? Last review?
Yes. Because no matter how much I rock with Ace Hood, you got to produce. Like, I can listen to, like, there's certain independent artists like Mac Miller, Tech Nine, them, MF Doom, who produce numbers in their independent lane. Ace Hood isn't doing any of that. He's just turning into a mixtape rapper. It's kind of the reason why I try not to review people like Currency anymore. Because I'm like, y'all niggas is just in y'all lane, and I'm cool with that. But y'all aren't pushing for. Unless it's something like I listened to the Spitter album a couple years ago because that shit was fire. If there's something special out there that I know is special, I'm gonna bump it. But at this point, I feel like I can find one of these mixtapes every few months on that Piff, and it's just gonna be a rotation. The reason, like Young Buck, you can't review a Young Buck mixtape, and then you got another mixtape coming out in 2 weeks. Like, I can't do rappers like that. Like, you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Like, it's like you know what the toughest rapper to do a review for is. Gucci, because Gucci drops legitimate material, but you don't know which one it is. Like, somebody's like, "Oh, you need to review that dude Gucci mixtape." I was like, "No, but isn't he dropping the Court versus Davis 45 coming up?" Like, isn't that the album still? Like, I don't know when to review Gucci music, so I try to like for sure know it's an album before I review a Gucci project. For one thing, because it's like it's the best Gucci you'll get for me. Is a commercial Gucci project over the street. I'm not a street Gucci dude. Bricks was probably what was the one? Like Super Brick or something was like the last dope trap Gucci song I could really get into. But like I said, this is gonna be a interesting year for everything we're getting into. But we're gonna get back out. We're gonna kick back in a second, get back into the sports and fantasy talk before we get out of here today. GMWorldwideRadio.com is UnFiltered, J Skyline and James. Oh, he's gonna tell a story because everybody else in this room knows about the story except y'all. So he's gonna have to explain himself in his riding around listening to music. When we get back here on GMWorldwideRadio.com, IG and Twitter at GMWW Radio, and pick us up at the Android app at the Google Play Store. And if you got that music that you want played round the clock, Pittsburgh Sounds, GMWW Radio at gmail.com is where you're going to get this. It's going to sound real clunky for a minute until I get it straight, or before we just do it on a loop video. And y'all notice it's not me actually talking to shit no more. But this is why this is unfiltered for now, and it's going to be super unfiltered later. Yeah. 37 hours down, we still ain't sleeping. Can't stop, won't stop. Get it. We'll be right back.